Hey, this is Ben from MetricFire, and I'm going to show you how to deploy the Snap Daemon in an EKS cluster to collect node and pod performance metrics and forward them to your hosted Graphite account. We provide a manifest that contains a Docker image, which is deployed into a Kubernetes environment as a daemon set. And this means it'll run on every node in the cluster and return useful performance metrics to a Graphite output. And the benefit to this method is that monitoring Kubernetes with Graphite has a much smaller learning curve than using Prometheus and is generally just easier to use. All right, before we deploy the Snap Daemon, we're assuming that you already have a Kubernetes cluster in place and proper credentials to access your clusters. And for this example, I'm going to deploy the Snap Daemon into a cluster in our AWS EKS environment. So first you need to make sure that your AWS command line is properly configured for your account. So just use the AWS configure command to make sure that the right access key, secret key, and region is configured. Then make sure that you're in the proper EKS cluster. You can see all of your clusters with the get contexts command. All right, so here I'm on the next-SB cluster, but I want to monitor next-production. So I'm going to switch with the use context command. All right. Once you're configured to your cluster that you want to monitor, you can create a new file with the .yml extension. And we can just name this file snap_daemon.yml. And I'm just going to create this in a Vim shell to keep things easy. Now you can just copy and paste the manifest config file from our docs like this. And then you will modify the prefix line at the bottom. Your API key goes here, which authenticates the request to our Graphite backend. Then you can just add a cluster identifier here, which is helpful if you're planning on monitoring multiple clusters. And the last step is to modify the servers line to contain your UID. And if you're not sure what your UID is, you can find this in your account by clicking on the Send Metrics button here. Okay, now just save the file and you're ready to deploy it by running the create command. Now you can run the get pod command to see the Snap Daemon pods that are running in your cluster. And I can also see those same pods running from with the EKS console. I'll just click into my cluster and they're located in the resources tab as daemon sets. Another cool thing about this manifest is that you can filter which types of metrics are being sent to hosted Graphite. You can see the metric groups here in the manifest, and you can define which metrics to forward in the brackets. You can also just omit a group if you're trying to limit the total number of metrics being sent to your account. All right, so within a couple minutes, metrics will start flowing into your hosted Graphite account and will be prefixed with snap, followed by the name of your cluster. We also have a starter dashboard in our dashboard library where you can toggle between clusters, nodes, and pods to see metrics for CPU load, memory, network performance, and the performance of the proc file system, which manages a lot of the services and processes in your cluster. All right, so as you can see, this is a very easy way to monitor your Kubernetes clusters using hosted Graphite, and you can use the Graphite metrics to build out as many custom dashboards and custom alerts as you need. So we encourage anyone watching this video to start a 14-day free trial and send your Kubernetes metrics to hosted Graphite so you can try out the platform for yourself. If you have questions or want a more detailed demonstration of this, just reach out to us directly at sales@metricfire.com or start a chat with us using our in-app chat feature, and we'll help you get started. All right, thanks so much for watching, and happy monitoring.